And there's Kirk McLean starting in goal for the Canucks. His 10th consecutive start. He's been the starter for every game with Mike Keenan behind the bench. At the other end, Patrick Waugh, who passed Andy Moog on the all-time wins list Thursday night as the Avalanche defeated the Chicago Blackhawks. First meeting between these two teams was a 4-4 tie, and Colorado starts with Lemieux sending it in. Kamensky and Forsberg also up front against Bure, Messier, and McGillney. There's a right wing feed for McGillney off Jay Scherz, and a delayed offside, and now it's called down.
One of the ways that Mike Keenan's built confidence in his goaltenders is he picks one. He picks one goalie and goes with him. And you look at wherever he's been, that one goalie usually wins the Vezina Trophy, or at least has his best year ever. Grant Fuhr, Ron Hextall, Eddie Belfour, and here it's been Kirk McLean. And last Saturday night we saw Captain Hook yank Kirk after 2 goals, and Artur Zerbe came in, shut the Leafs down, got the win, and that's exactly what Keenan wants from his backup. Pick one goalie as a starter, and the backup, you better be ready to come in.
He has the reputation of being hard on goaltenders, and he says, I've had 5 Vezina Trophy winners. And now, play whistle down as there was some jostling away from the play. And it looks like Eric Lacroix was involved in it. Looks like offsetting penalties. Pair of 28s going off, Lacroix and Brian Noonan.
And here we have Mark Fawcett calling coincidental minors. Mark Fawcett was here Tuesday night. There's the little stick jousting early in this game, and Mark Fawcett trying to keep things under wraps. Fawcett was here Tuesday night for an Edmonton game, and that was a game that was a lot of penalties called, and 5 misconducts called in that penalty-filled game Tuesday night. And here's Fawcett back in his central swing. He was in Dallas for an Edmonton game Wednesday, and then the Calgary game last night.
Tripping to Noonan, slashing to Lacroix. Mike Keenan, a Canada Cup winner, and Mark Crawford, the other side, the Olympic coach. Good coaching matchup tonight. Here's Adam Foote on the Olympic team. 4-on-4, Messier and Bure is in alone. Bure scores on a nifty feed from Mark Messier.
What a nice pass from Messier, and you can see Mark Crawford, he's not too happy with his defense. Messier and Bure on the ice together. You have to be aware of Pavel Bure. Puck comes out of the zone. Here's Adam Foote, passes it up the middle. It's picked off by Messier out of the air. Now you have to be aware of Bure. There's Foote, he's out of the play. Eric Messier's out of the play, and Bure gets Patrick Waugh, head up all the way. Fake, 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 and then snap it through, and Patrick couldn't get down quickly enough. It's through the 5-hole.
48 seconds, the time of the goal. The Canucks take an early lead on Bure's 16th. Messier the lone assist. Foote stays out, so does Messier and Bure. Pass went by Lemieux, and Olin back to get it first, icing the call.
Well, that's one of the things. Mark Crawford likes to play Foote and whoever, and it has been Gusarov, and now it's Eric Messier, who's had a great year against the best line of the other team. And when you get that privilege and that challenge, you have to be aware of the star players. Pavel Bure's been on fire for the Vancouver Canucks. You have to be aware that he's on the ice. Here he is, clear-cut breakaway. What a quick shot. And you see it's that 6 inches above the stick. It's not along the ice. The good scorers get it above the stick and yet low enough that you can't take it off the pads.
That's Bure's 8th goal in just over 9 games under Mike Keenan. Had a 10-game point streak snapped the other night. Now Sakic's on the ice with Kamensky, Ozolinsh, and Gusarov. Ozolinsh gives off, and here comes Kamensky. Valerie Kamensky working in. Sakic, quick shot, blocked by Lume. Kamensky tried to get it to the point, picked off by McGillney, and he speeds down the ice with Shelina. Stopped by Gusarov. Shelina in front. And Bois down to make the stop with McGillney on the doorstep. Lume stepped up. McGillney in front. That one off the crossbar. And out the other way comes Kamensky. Looking for Sakic on the far side. And now Colorado will make a change. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the opening period. A fast start for Vancouver. Lefebvre back to get it, and the Canucks called for icing.
Good pressure by the Vancouver Canucks 4-on-4, and Jyrki Lumme was right in the corner, brought the puck out, and he had Patrick Waugh beat, but he was at a near impossible angle. He tried to go over Waugh's shoulder. Martin Jelena knocks this puck down, feeds McGillney, and Patrick makes a great save on the deflection. There's the first save by Patrick. He can't get the rebound. Lumme gets it in the corner. Good pressure. Goes around Ozolinsh, and look at Lumme. Pulls it out, and he's going to try and jam it in high glove side. And he almost did. It's off the crossbar, and for Patrick Waugh, a good break. His best friend came through again.
Here's Deadmarsh against David Roberts back in the Canuck lineup. Krupp from the point. His shot. McLean shoveled it away as he was falling down. And Roberts will flip it into the Colorado zone. Sylvain Lefebvre off the boards out to center. Cruising there. Rene Corbet moving in. And he lost his footing as he was cut off neatly by Hedeken. Olin plays it around to Marcus Naslund, who couldn't find it. Lefebvre rolls it to the side of the net. And McLean will flip it into the corner. And Naslund having some problems on this shift, now has control of it. And Marcus Naslund to center ice, and he'll send it in. Canucks changing. Vancouver with the lead on a first-minute goal by Pavel Bure. Yell firing it in. McLean wanders. Moving up now. That's Yell. Clemens on the ice. Now Stefan Yell behind the net trying to work his way out in front. Couldn't get a shot on. Lumme up ahead on right wing. McGillney. There's Bure. Bure back to McGillney. Messier swooping in as well, but McGillney was stood up. Now Kamensky almost had a break. And getting back is Merzen. Here's a pass broken up by Forsberg. Here's the shot. Whistled that one wide. Bure looks right wide. There's McGillney. Messier trying to make it 2-on-1. McGillney holds on, and a blast right on. Patrick Waugh with the save, and the Canucks off to a terrific start here in Denver.
That's how he describes him.
Here's Olin drilling a shot right on after a face-off won by the Canucks. Now Brashear, blocker stopped by Patrick Waugh. Krupp now. Up ahead it goes. Yell with Donovan on the right side, and Yell's shot blasting it wide. Corbet is out there as well. That's Sean Donovan, the former San Jose Shark, tied up by Brashear. Yell a backhand, kicked out, and ahead it goes to Scatchard. Dave Scatchard's played well since Keenan took over. He's taken down by Donovan, and Donovan heads to the Colorado bench. Yell fires it in. Avalanche will make changes. Deadmarsh out there now with Sakic and Lacroix. Sandis Ozolinsh, watched by Jelena, gets it to the captain. Here's Sakic. Lost it. Gusarov races after it. Lumme got there and flips it down the ice. Well, we wondered how the Canucks would come out after a subpar effort against San Jose and a lengthy morning meeting held behind closed doors, conducted by the new head coach. Here's Ozolinsh, right side, Deadmarsh, and that one goes off target. David Roberts up to Martin Jelena, and he'll send it into the Colorado zone.
See all these Colorado shots whistling wide, and that's a good indication that Kirk McLean is cutting down the angles very well. He has the Colorado Avalanche firing those pucks a foot wide.
Lemieux takes that over two lines offside.
Colorado Avalanche, you look at their big line, Peter Forsberg, Valerie Kamensky, and Claude Lemieux. They've been piling up the points, but then the second line comes over the boards, and Joe Sakic and Adam Deadmarsh are always part of that second line. Deadmarsh with 2-game winners in the last 3 games. And then their defense, as strong as any in the league. Eric Messier has been a pleasant surprise. Or I guess you wouldn't call him a surprise. Finally coming of age, playing with Adam Foote.
And the other Messier gets set to take this face-off against Deadmarsh. Foote from the draw, flips it off the glass, and it's sent in by Lemieux. Olin back to get it, shoveled it around. Lemieux was jostling with McGillney. Forsberg looks for it. Now Messier with the shot, and it's held by McLean. Eric Messier grew up idolizing the Oilers and Mark Messier. He's never had to play head-to-head against him. And the first minute was tough, as Mark Crawford will attest.
The Vancouver Canucks have gone 5 road games without a loss, and you see the Colorado Avalanche had some problems at home, and I think that's reflected in their power play. The difference in their road power play as compared to their home power play. It's been on fire when they've been on the road and not so good when they've played at home.
Colorado wins the draw. It comes back to Foot. Shot kicked out by McLean, and Bure plays it to the far side. Kaminsky's there. Valerie Kaminsky. Lemieux along the boards. Forsberg looking for a loose puck. Lume and Kaminsky continue to battle, and now it's Pavel Bure. Working his way out, slides it ahead to Merzen. He had his pocket picked by Forsberg. Now it's Kaminsky. This has been the big line for Colorado of late as they've taken off. Now Kaminsky at the line. Messier tying him up. Loose puck, and Donovan unable to find it. McGillney comes back. Now it's Messier. Bure at the line. He's stopped, and Sean Donovan coming back the other way with Odgers over the line. Odgers to Sakic. They score! Sean Donovan has his first as a Colorado Avalanche.
Mike Keenan's not going to like the defensive coverage. Kirk McLean makes a great save on Joe Sakic. Now here's the turnover and the quick transition of the Colorado Avalanche. Look at, and here's a bad line change. 2 Canucks off, 2 Canucks can't get into the play. Sakic the shot, what a save by McLean, but there's Sean Donovan banging it in. Bad line change for the Canucks. It turns out to be a 3-on-2. Sakic shot stopped by McLean, but there's Sean Donovan around Brett Hedican, who has his back to the man, and in it goes. Sean Donovan's finally getting in Colorado shape now. He was in San Jose, and the practice is not as high tempo, and the peer pressure not as much. And now he is getting used to skating in practices with Peter Forsberg and Joe Sakic.
And here comes Sakic over the line. Joey Sakic in. Ledger whacking at him as Lefebvre winds up. That shot right on. Sakic and Odgers get the assists on Donovan's goal. Here's Donovan again. That one knocked down, and Steve Staios will lug it out for Vancouver. So after the quick start by the Canucks, it's the Avalanche answering back in a 1-1 tie here. 7:15 into the first period at the McNichols Sports Arena. And a good tempo, and John, we're not surprised. These two teams love to skate. That puck flipped over the glass and out of play. So the goal scorers, Bure and Donovan, here in the first. Stockpiled for the next draft, and they gave up a second rounder with Ricci in the deal that brought Donovan to Colorado.
Dean Lombardi has widely been criticized for that deal. It could be a lottery pick if San Jose misses the playoffs.
Adam Deadmarsh flipping it in. There's Lume back to get it for the Canucks. Moves it ahead on the right side. And Patrick Waugh out to play it for Ozolinsh. Off the boards, kept in by Brashear. Alexei Gusarov back in the Avalanche lineup. He'd been rested for a couple of games at age 33, and the oldest member of the Avalanche sitting out tonight, Jari Kurri, getting a mid-season break. And behind the play, Merzen was knocked down, and a penalty coming up as Deadmarsh took a cross-check at Merzen after the play as well.
And Merzen is trying to get the double minor on Adam Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh was going off originally. I don't think it's going to happen.
Trevor Linden was 100% the last time these two teams met. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in that 4-4 tie. And now the Canucks on the power play as Deadmarsh is off for tripping. Oland, Lume man the points. There's a pass in front for Lume. Went by him, and Oland retrieves it. Sends it across to Messier. Matthias Oland back to the captain. Bure at the side of the net. Here's Oland shooting it. Stopped by Waugh. Clem reaching for it, and Oland will keep it in. Bure after it, and it's Gusarov pounding it around. Stopped by Lume. Messier took a hit, kept the puck in. Jyrke Lume now finds Olin, looks across, and it went right by the open corner. Messier back to Olin. Matthias Olin trying to put it in front. Loose puck, and Bure gets it back. Pavel Bure, who opened the scoring in the first minute. Lume shot on, foot sends it into the corner. 48 seconds left in the penalty as the puck sent out to center. That allows the Avalanche to get fresh penalty killers on the ice. Messier still there for Vancouver with Bure and McGillney. Uwe Krupp watching McGillney. Here's a pass across, intercepted by Lefebvre, and now Sylvain Lefebvre to Forsberg. And out at center was Sakic. Peter Forsberg, and he's checked by Roberts. Now Lonnie Bohannes is out there with Roberts and Jelena. Here's David Roberts sending it in wide of the net. Bohannes after it in the corner with Jelena. At the point, Ledger shooting it, and that drifted wide. Hedeken, Jelena. Bohannes, Jelena whacking away at it, centering it as Deadmarsh returns to the ice. Now Jelena picks it up in the corner. Looking to center it, taken away by Forsberg. Peter Forsberg, tied for second in scoring, finds Deadmarsh, moving in, scores! Adam Deadmarsh.
Chris, you and I talked 3 hours ago about Peter Forsberg and his effect. Well, here's Forsberg. Deadmarsh picks Dave Roberts. Now Forsberg's got some open ice, and look at Deadmarsh. Go to the open ice. Now Dana Merzen can't catch him. Deadmarsh pulls it back, protects the puck, and Kirk McLean tried the poke check. But Deadmarsh sees him. McLean tries the poke check, but you can see Deadmarsh look up, and as soon as he saw McLean coming, he pulled it back in, and then he had the empty net.
Well, the Fruitvale, BC native went through a 15-game slump, but now has 3 goals in the last 4 games. 2 of those a game winner, or game winners, and now a go-ahead goal here. As the Avalanche have bounced back after giving up a first-minute goal to Pavel Bure and the Canucks.
And that was a good Canuck power play. They had 3 or 4 good scoring chances. They had the puck in the Avalanche zone almost the entire 2 minutes, and then right after the power play is over, out comes Peter Forsberg. And look at Deadmarsh look up. Kirk McLean decides on the poke check, and Deadmarsh looked up. And as soon as that happens, as a goalie, you go, oh no, here we go, Mr. Bill.
33 goals last year. He does seem to go through those prolonged slumps. One in the playoffs last season.
It's such a confidence thing with him. And you would think with his success and with the World Cup last year and such a strong World Cup, but that he wouldn't have those lapses in confidence, but Deadmarsh, like any other player, seems to.
Forsberg has tied Mike Modano, who is now injured, for the league lead in scoring and has the assist lead, number 29 on the year for Peter Forsberg and the Avalanche. Enjoy a 2-1 lead.
The Canucks were in big trouble.
There's a flip shot wide of the goal. I think Mike Keenan was especially anxious about this game. He said this morning, we'll see how much growth has taken place. Here's McGillney, the chance in front, and he was cleared out of there by Eric Messier as the Canucks go back on the attack. Stefan Yell out there defensively, and now it's young Messier moving it out, and the veteran Messier taking over. Sending it across ice, Hedeken look for Bure. That pass broken up by Kaminsky. He got by Messier. Valerie Kaminsky moving in. His shot blocked by Olin. There's a quick shot by Messier and stopped by McLean. Now Eric Messier at the point. Backhands it. Hedeken for Vancouver. Bure, and now young Olin. Long shot, and that one whistled by the ear of Patrick Roy. He heard that one sizzle by him. Kaminsky on the backhand, turns back. Ledger hacking at him on this near side. It's Yell playing it in for Lemieux. Sillinger's there for Vancouver. Kamensky's still on the ice, and he loses it to Jelena. McGillney without the helmet. Up to Sillinger off his skate. And Lemieux and Yell start back. Puck shot into Vancouver territory. And jostling here between Staios and Francois Leroux on the ice for the first time tonight. And a penalty coming up, called by Mark Fawcett. And you could just see the additions with Detroit in mind. Ozolinsh shooting. I don't think McLean saw that as it went wide. We talked about the improved power play for Colorado since the return of Ozolinsh. They're 8 for their last 23. They've moved from 16th to 9th in the league since his return. Now Sakic, as Merzen lost his footing momentarily, but recovers to get the puck to the line, kept in by Krupp. Sakic's up front with Lacroix and Deadmarsh. Sakic in the corner, lost it, and it's Lume sending it the length of the ice. 35 seconds gone in the penalty, and Patrick Waugh up on the tape to Ozolinsh. Sandis Ozolinsh sends it across. Kamensky, Forsberg went to the net. Deadmarsh in front, blocked by Hedekin, and the Canucks are able to get it out.
The ability of Patrick Waugh. Vancouver got caught on the line change. Waugh threw it up, and the Colorado Avalanche with a good scoring chance.
I want to see Patrick skate to center.
Yes,
and maybe over like he did against the Rangers earlier this year. Here's Kamensky, downed, but Ozolinsh continues, looks for Forsberg. He's tailed by Jelena. Now Lemieux along the boards, moving in front, checked by Ledgerd, and Lume will send it the length of the ice, and down to 35 seconds remaining in the Steve Staios penalty. Under 6 minutes to go, first period, and a 2-1 lead for the Avalanche. Goals by Donovan and Deadmarsh after Bure opened the scoring at the 48-second mark. Lume, funny hop off the blast, and Kamensky blasted that one just wide. Well, the old McNichol Sports Arena can create the bad hops, and they got one Colorado's the way there. Lemieux takes a look. Messier moved in low. Sakic calls for it. Lemieux hanging on. Staios returning to the ice. So the Canucks back at full strength. Forsberg in the corner. Here's Peter Forsberg. Look at that move. Dropping it off. Foot shooting. And McLean got a piece of that and took a high stick. And the puck bounced out to center. Adam Foote drilling it back in. That hit Ledgerd. Cross to Lume. Under 5 minutes to go in the period. Up for Sillinger. Mike Sillinger, watched by Yell. Stays on the puck. Gets it in. Look at Bure dashing there. Messier's in front. Bure wrap around. And a stop by Waugh. Yell tries to work his way out. Stopped by McGillney. And Bure really showing you his good speed there.
Nice save by Patrick Waugh on the wraparound. Bure pulled it all the way out. Tried to go to the far corner. And Patrick got the leg out to make the save.
Now Messier. Back in. Drop for Bure. Yell was there. And Yell's been matched up against this Messier line since the opening minute. Here's Adam Foote. Up to Donovan. He plays it ahead to Spy Hill, Saskatchewan's Jeff Odgers. Played into the corner by McLean, and now Lume out. Right side, and a pass for Naslund is disconnected at the Colorado line. Merzen for Scatchard. He deflects it in and took a hit from Krupp. Sylvain Lefebvre around, and that's past Lume, rolling the length of the ice. And this will be icing against Colorado with 3:40 to play in the first period. Avalanche up by a goal. From the face-off, they all scrum for it. Yell tried to pry it loose, and now it's chipped by Leroux past Staios, and they get their sticks up again. So Leroux and Staios have had something going in very limited action against each other so far tonight. Leroux's got the puck. Staios goes to Leroux as he sends it in. Frankie Leroux, 6'6", 237 pounds. Got a couple of pounds on Uwe Krupp, who's another 6'6" Avalanche player on the ice right now. Sylvain Lefebvre to center and into the Vancouver zone. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening period. Sillinger, he lost it. Here's Forsberg moving back in with Lemieux and Kaminsky in front. And it just went wide of that post. Centering pass back to the point, and Gusarov unable to keep it in. Foot flips it high in the air. Down for Kaminsky, and a stop by McLean. Boy, that had some hang time. Gave Kaminsky a chance to move right into the slot. Claude Lemieux along the boards. Forsberg and Messier got it away and down the ice.
They don't call pass interference in this league. I thought maybe somebody flattened Kaminsky before he got that shot away.
I could have sworn somebody on the Canucks should have been called for no yards. Kaminsky gives way for Sakic at the line with Deadmarsh, taking the pass and losing it. Bure back defensively. They get crossed up. Sakic's got it again. And it's knocked off his stick, and McGillney gets it out.
Great move by Joe Sakic. We've seen it before. Stop on a dime and go back the other way.
Adam Foote to Sakic. That's cut off. Lume up to Bure and Scatchard. His shot blocked by Foote. Scatchard again. That's stopped by Waugh. Sakic up ahead. Waugh got it by the defenseman Lume down the ice, and this will be icing against Colorado. What a year he had. One of the all-time great seasons. And a leading candidate to be a Canadian Athlete of the Year.
Along with Jacques Villeneuve. Who would you pick, Chris?
I'd give it to both of them. What an amazing year. But if I had to pick one, I think I'd take Larry Walker. Down to the final minute.
I think I'd agree with you, Chris. I think Jacques Villeneuve, he did have a great year, but Larry up against all those other players and all the excuses that people say he played at Coors Field, but his numbers were better away from Coors Field than they were at Coors Field.
Got a penalty coming up and some emotion at that bench as Brian Noonan has words with the Avalanche bench. And let's see who Mark Fawcett has. Mike Keenan was saying, we've got to cut our penalties in half.
Now there's the shot on Stefan Yell, and the second one. I think Mark Fawcett might have let the first one go, but the second one was Stefan Yell holding Brian Noonan's stick. I think that's what Noonan was saying, that, okay, Yell's got my stick, how do I play? Let's just give him a shot and we'll both go off. Didn't work out that way, and Vancouver has to kill another one.
Well, playing with fire, giving the Avalanche power play opportunities, already with a 2-1 lead. 41.9 seconds to go. There's a guy that did get some consideration for the Olympic team.
And Mark Crawford feels that if there should be some injuries, Stefan Yell would be the perfect role player and in the Rob Zaminer type spot. And you can see at home, talking to Mike Foligno about the power play, and he should know, he was a prolific scorer, and he says that at home that the team gets too fancy. On the road, they take the shot more than they do, and at home, they all want to have that four-pass, picture-perfect goal. And instead of taking the easy one, they want to have that empty netter. We've seen it a couple times here tonight. They're pretty to watch, but they tend to overpass in close.
Saw Jacques Cloutier, assistant coach, who was Mike Keenan's goaltender in Rochester when they won the Calder Cup in the early 80s. Now, hard to believe this team operating under 10% at home. Here's Lemieux with the blast. McLean get a piece of that, or was that the crossbar?
He got a piece of it, and then it went off the crossbar.
Wow. And sent down the ice. See if Colorado can get one more rush here with 15 seconds to go. Lemieux. Here's Sakic. He was tripped up momentarily. Kaminsky looks for it. Forsberg at the line. Nice move on Bure. Peter Forsberg. Oh, and what a stop there as the horn goes to end the period. But a little more magic from the leading assist man and the leading scorer in the NHL, Peter Forsberg.
And look at this. Don't play the puck. Pavel Bure tries to play the puck. Don't play the puck. Jyrki Lume tries to, that's Matthias Ohlund, tries to play the puck. Kurt McLean's the only one. He does play the puck, gets the left hand out as Forsberg tried to go top shelf glove side and robbed by McLean.
Great first period. Bure opened the scoring, then Donovan and Deadmarsh. And after 20 minutes, it's the Avalanche 2, the Canucks 1. And we start the second period with Brian Noonan in the penalty box and Colorado on their second power play of the game. There's a pass in front, and Kamensky was well tied up. Sakic is at the point with Ozolinsh. Now Joe Sakic moves it in. Throws it back to Forsberg. Returns it to Sakic. And Sakic with room. Now side of the net, and Sakic, the quick shot, and the return feed went high and wide. Forsberg. Watched by Bure. And they knock him off the puck and get it to the line and out.
Well, that was a good job by Pavel Bure. He stuck right with Peter Forsberg, got the stick on him, and stole the puck.
Now Sakic drops for Kamensky. Here's Valerie Kamensky, and his cross-ice pass broken up by Messier. Sakic in the corner. And Kamensky calling for it, but it comes across on the other side. Now to Sakic, and the one-timer just went wide. Nice pass there. Kamensky. He circles. Gives off Ozolinsh. Messier down. Here's a shot, and that's off the glass, high and wide. Bouncing out in front. McGillney on the backhand. To the line, kept in by Ozolinsh. Cross ice it goes. Here's Noonan back on the ice. Canucks at full strength, but pressure still on. Messier goes to the attack against Forsberg. Centering pass. Kamensky stopped by McLean. Nolan trying to get it out of there, and they do get it by Krupp. Here's McGillney winding up, and that one high off the glass. Another shot on Patrick Roy. Rebound all the way out. Bad change. Here's Rene Corbet moving down the ice with Kamensky. Stopped by Ledger. And Noonan will turn back. They open it up quickly in the second period. Sillinger to Ledger, and the return pass sailed waist high. Sillinger behind the net, centering it. Broken up by Lefebvre. In behind the net, Martin Jelena trying to swoop in front, and Patrick Roy will cover.
Valerie Kamensky goes to the bench. He was on for the entire power play and ended up with a very long shift. There's Brett Hedican and Sandis Ozolinsh with the power plays in the first period. Hedican a little more time along with Ozolinsh. And the big line for Mike Keenan. That's about the way he plays them. Messier and Bure played the 4-on-4. And that's why their ice time is a little more than Alexander McGillney's. And Mark Crawford was rolling over the two lines, the two big lines in that first period. And how do you defend against that? You look at the Forsberg line and then the Sakic line, and who's up next? The Forsberg line.
Yeah, when you look at their fourth line, you know they don't see much action with Odgers, LaRue, and Corbet. It's not a combination you see out there very much, or John Clem.
And Mark Crawford rewards the guys by putting them on with Sakic and Deadmarsh, and we saw Jeff Odgers got an assist on the goal, on the Donovan goal.
Jeff Odgers was saying this morning, it's so easy on this team to understand your role and play it. There's Olin with a blast right off the face-off. I always thought Jeff Odgers was kind of the prototypical Boston Bruin type player, but the Bruins let him go, and now he's on a team with a chance at the Stanley Cup. Here's Stefan Yell moving in. A pass for Gusarov. Stopped by McLean. Look at Adam Foote moving in. Foote again. A shot right on. Kicked out by McLean, and Lonnie Bahana starts back the other way. Patrick Waugh ahead to Yell. Stefan Yell to the line. Donovan trying to stay onside, but he was in ahead of the play. And they continue, 5 skaters aside. The Sakic line is out there now. And it's cleared out to center. Here's Lume lugging it to the line. Scatchard passing it across. Now Dave Scatchard going after it in the corner. Takes Gusarov out. On the far side, Ledger steps up. Couldn't control it. Then Ozolinsh will start back. Ahead to Sakic with Deadmarsh and Lacroix. Knocked off his stick to the line. And comes back out to center. 3 minutes, 40 seconds gone, second period. And here's Lacroix spinning it for Deadmarsh. Too far. Brashear runs Deadmarsh. 2-1 Colorado, and Mark Fawcett has his arm raised for another penalty call after Deadmarsh and Bure exchange shoves and words.
I don't know who's going off. I assume it's Adam Deadmarsh for the retaliation on the hit from Donald Bure. Bure is over by the box. Now here's the hit by Bure. Is it a dirty hit? Well, not bad. Forearm. And there's the little chop. Well, the second one is the one that warranted the penalty, and that's why Deadmarsh is going off. And Mike Keenan likes Donald Bure just for that reason. That's Bure's first shift of the night. He comes out, stirs things up, and draws a penalty.
And Adam Deadmarsh, no stranger to the penalty box. Surprisingly, he's second on the Avalanche team in penalty minutes. And there's the guy who leads the National Hockey League in that department. This time, innocent. Well, the Canucks will now try and get their power play going. Tied for 23rd in the league.
Their power play was very good in the first period. They had lots of chances. Patrick Waugh had to make a couple of good saves.
Here's Bure, McGillney, Messier up front, Lume and Oland on the points. Like Keenan was saying, the Canucks power play and how good it will be as Lume scores on a wraparound and ties the game.
And that's a rare mistake by Patrick Waugh, and you can see Patrick looking around and talking to his defenseman. He usually comes across with one knee down and the stick flat. This time he comes across standing up. Look at Jyrki Lume, the move around Gusarov and the quick pull, and you can see Patrick, look where his stick was. It wasn't even close to his skate, and Lume just slid it through his feet. Look at Patrick's stick. It's out in front, and Lume just slides it through. Nice play by Jyrki Lume, but not a very good play for Patrick Waugh.
Well, Mike Keenan, I was going to say, is looking for a quarterback on defense for the power play. Instead, he gets a defenseman moving up and scoring on a wraparound.
Scoring from behind the net.
Bure and McGillney, the assists on the goal at .419. Lume's third, and all have come on the power play this season. So, Vancouver back on even terms here. Expected a hard-fought battle here tonight. Colorado on their game, and the Canucks wanting to answer back after a subpar effort against San Jose Thursday. Here's Forsberg moving in, lost it, and now Ledger runs him into the inboards. Forsberg trying to stay on it, and the Canucks move it ahead and out to center. Big Uwe Krupp back in his own zone, paired with Lefebvre. Lemieux on right wing, past Sillinger. Now Jelena on him, and Sillinger takes it. Gives it right back. Forsberg had Lemieux in behind the defense, and the puck just didn't slide through. Matthias Ohlund now winding up. This is the guy that Keenan is looking for down the line to be that quarterback on the power play. He thinks the Canucks power play will go or not on the strength of Oland's progress.
Well, he has a great shot, and that's something on the power play. You look at Al McInnes, it says not only a good passer, but having that scary, intimidating shot from the blue line.
Gusarov retreating. Mahanis watching him. Ozelinch to Rene Corbeil. Corbeil at center ice, works his way to the line, lost it. And now the goal scorer Lume out to center. Here's Bure with a move, and now a big shot off the blocker of Waugh. Bure goes after the rebound, but Yell's there ahead of him. Stefan Yell, right side. Knocked down by Donovan. Lume tried to hit Bure too far, and Waugh shovels it around. Here come the Avalanche. Sent down the ice by Deadmarsh. Lacroix going after it. McLean will play it on the ledge there, and Lume took a hit but got it to McGillney. Up for Bure at center with Messier. Hedican moved up. Now Lume does. Over the line. Lume will just play it in as he was sent off balance. Now Sakic starts back. Past Hedican. Here's Sakic moving in. Joe Sakic, and he's hauled down by Ohlund after a great rush. Centered in front, they score! Eric Lacroix
Chris, I think everybody in the building was watching Joe Sakic. And I think even Kirk McLean must have been watching Joe Sakic on this play. Look at this play. Okay, there's Hedekins caught up. And now it's Sakic on Olin. One-on-one, he's by him. And Olin reaches around, tackles Sakic. Now, why wasn't the puck blown dead there when Mark Messier played it? And instead, Eric Lacroix brings it around. Does Messier have control here? Okay, there's the penalty. Messier comes back, plays it on his backhand. Now the whistle should have gone there. And instead, Eric Lacroix kicks it up, and the quick backhand through Kirk McLean. And Mike Keenan's not going to like the replay of that one.
No, he didn't like it. And Mike Keenan is making a change in goal as Lacroix celebrates his 5th of the year. Joe Sakic, that splendid rush, and they give Foot an assist too. I think you've asked a good question, though. Why was that play not blown dead as Messier made contact?
Now the wording is control. Now did Messier have to? That looked to me like he had control. He intended just to chip it behind the net.
Well, second consecutive Saturday night where Archer Zerbe has come in to relieve Kirk McLean.
Do you think Mike Keenan would have pulled Patrick Waugh at the other end on Jyrki Lume had Keenan been coaching the Colorado Avalanche? Same goal.
Except this was the 3rd goal and a go-ahead marker. And Colorado back in front 3-2. So Zerbe, who was outstanding last Saturday against the Leafs, didn't allow a goal. Is back in, we're not sure for how long. And now Francois Leroux eyes Noonan, and Olin gets involved.
And here comes Donald Brashear over. And immediately the linesmen are involved. Jay Shears and our friend Shane Heyer.
And Leroux goes to the penalty box.
And Messier didn't complain. I was surprised, Chris, because he did touch the puck after the penalty.
No, that was an incidental contact. Messier played the puck behind the net. Here goes Sakic again. Boy, he's exciting to watch. Sakic drops for Forsberg. Foot's moved up. Adam Foot in the corner. Forsberg up with it to Sakic. And Zerbe tests it right away. What a blast by the captain on another nice feed by Forsberg. Boy, it's bad enough seeing one after the other, but when they're in tandem, Sakic and Forsberg, here's Olin all the way. And Patrick Waugh stood his ground, and look out the other way. Forsberg and Foot, 2-on-1. Peter Forsberg, and what a great defensive play by Lume. You don't see that very often, but Peter Forsberg hanging on too long and not getting anything in a 2-on-1. And now the other way, Hedeken almost sprung. Sent it across the front of the goal mouth. And now it's Detmarsh and Kamensky at the line. They're offside. 51 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4 situation.
Takes pressure off everybody, but you could see Peter Forsberg look across and see that it was Adam Foot on that 2-on-1. He decided he was going to take it himself. Had that been Joe Sakic, you can bet Peter Forsberg would have fed it across.
Foot's got a goal this year.
Yeah, he's got one.
Took him a little longer last year to get his first of the season. There's Kamensky swooping in off that right side. Where's Jelena? Has it knocked off his stick. In behind the net. Detmarsh centered, and Zerbe pouncing on it.
That almost went off the heel of Zerbe sticking into the net. We've seen some funny goals tonight. Rare funny goals against two of the best goaltenders in the league, Patrick Waugh and Kirk McLean. And Detmarsh almost had one on his pass out from behind the net. Glenn Hanlon talking to Steve about the backup goalie's role with Mike Keenan, and Archer Zerbe is a good fit for that role. He works hard in practice, he enjoys the game, and he's a pretty loose personality. He doesn't get too uptight. Comes in here and made a great save on Sakic on his first save. It's good when you have an assistant coach like Glenn Hanlon, who has been in the position himself for so many years. Dana Merzen has now come back to the Canuck bench, just sitting down.
Yell on this face-off, wins the drop back to Lefebvre. It's 3-2 Avalanche. Quick shot by Lemieux, and that will ring the boards. And come back into the Avalanche zone. We passed the 9-minute mark of the second period. Lume tied it on a wraparound, and then the Avalanche regained the lead on Eric Lacroix's 5th of the season. Uwe Krupp, Olympic bound with the German team, and now here's Lemieux over the line. That shot blocked, and Olin plays it around to the line, kept in by Lefebvre. Now Lume sweeps the rebound to the line, kept in again, and now they're calling a glove pass. And a face-off will come outside the Vancouver zone.
Eric Lacroix looks across, doesn't complain too much. Jeff Courtnall in overtime against the Calgary Flames. Rick Tabaracci in net for that one. And look at that score, Chris. The trap was not in effect in a 7-2 game. Pittsburgh bouncing back after being shut out.
Now, Ronnie Francis had 4 assists in that Pittsburgh game.
Dominic Hasek's streak ended. Phoenix on a long road trip are having some problems.
Injury problems.
New Jersey over Tampa Bay as Jacques Demers finds out what the Tampa Bay Lightning are really like on the road. New Jersey with a pile of goals for, that's a lot for them.
The Lightning won their first road game of the year and have not won a game since. Here's Deadmarsh hanging on with Bure, and nothing comes of that.
Well, there's going to be penalties, and I don't know who's going to get it.
And I think Deadmarsh going off again, and Bure heads to the box.
Well, here it is. Could have danced all night. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called against Adam Deadmarsh, and Joe Sakic goes over to complain about it. And Donald Bruchere's had 2 shifts and drawn 2 penalties, both against Adam Deadmarsh.
And I guess Bure got the message from Mike Keenan that the Canucks have been taking too many penalties, and he is actually drawn a few tonight. Well, Mike Keenan felt his team needed a power play goal tonight to win. They have one, but trail by 1. And as you can see, they have enjoyed some power play success against Colorado this year. So back to the power play they go with Messier, McGillney, Bure, Olin, and Lume, who takes the pass. Olin fires it off target, cleared by Foot. That had everybody ducking at the Vancouver bench as it went the length of the ice. Lume lost an edge as Olin carries up ice to Messier. He'll set it up. Olin to an open corner. Bure after it against Foot. Adam Foot battles for it there, and McGillney takes over. Back to Olin. The rookie sends it in past Bure. Lume after it, up against John Clem. McGillney chips it back to Lume. Clem watching him. Alexander McGillney fakes. Bure in front. Lume shooting high. Olin now. Cross ice. Lume will keep it alive. Messier behind the net. Gusarov on him. Now McGillney takes over. 45 seconds left in the power play. Everything on the outside for Vancouver. Messier lost it, and it's Yell stealing up to Clem, and the Cranbrook native will get it the rest of the way.
Yell and Clem had a chance for a 2-on-1, but we're at the end of the shift. Wisely just dumped it into the corner and went off.
Now Forsberg and Sakic, the penalty killers. Martin Shelina with under 20 seconds to go. Sakic with the steal, and he was slowed up by Shelina. Otherwise, that was another shorthanded break. Now back the other way for Bahanas with Noonan. Stopped up by Lefebvre. Forsberg with it. Up to Sakic. And Hedekin plays that nicely, but following up, it's Krupp, and that high shot whistled past Urbe's mask. Back at full strength, the Avalanche. Noonan to Bahanas. Shelina looking for it. Now Bahanas tries to center it, and it's knocked ahead by Forsberg. Lonnie Bahanas at center, loses it. Here's Forsberg over the line. Pass Merson. Lacroix in front. Scores!
You can't be reaching on Peter Forsberg. You have to have to hit position. Here's Lonnie Bohannes from the turnaround to Uwe Krupp. And watch Dana Merzen. He's reaching. You can't be reaching on Forsberg. He's by him. Lacroix gets in shape. And there's the pass. Grant Ledger's back, lets the pass go across. And the easy goal for Eric Lacroix.
Second in a row for Lacroix, 6th of the year. And Forsberg has his league-leading 30th assist.
He's so strong. Peter Forsberg is just so strong, his legs, that if you're reaching, he's going to blow right by it. And that's what happened with Dana Merzen. He was reaching, and Forsberg went right by him.
He mishandled the 2-on-1 with foot, but gets another one a couple of minutes later, and no mistake.
Another forward. It's not a defenseman with me. Okay, I'll throw it across.
That's what he was telling Lacroix. If you had been with me on that last one, you'd have a
Here we go. Leroux and Bure.
Leroux's had some big ones with Sandy McCarthy this year, and now testing Bure.
Sure.
See if somebody gets loose.
They're in pretty tight quarters here. I think they're going to tire themselves out before anybody gets loose. Yeah, there's the takedown. And Jay Shears and Shane Heyer get in. Two of the strongest linesmen in the league.
Do you think Francois Leroux was at it with the Detroit Red Wings in mind?
Arthur Zerbe had no chance. In it goes.
4-2 Avalanche, 7:40 remaining in the second period. Here's Forsberg, pass Ledger. The pass comes back outside the line. Lemieux to Forsberg. Back in they come. Ledger tried to knock Forsberg off the puck. Kamensky has it. He took a slash. Penalty coming up. And now Forsberg taken down. Lemieux cross ice Ozolic, and that one off the outside of the post. A chance for Sakic. Extra attacker on now. Avalanche buzzing. And Walker touches it to get the penalty call. Avalanche 0 for 2 with the man advantage tonight. Messier, Bure out to kill the penalty.
And you can bet they'll be going shorthanded.
Down by a pair of goals after Lume had got them on even terms here early in the second. Adam Deadmarsh on the move, trying to get past Olin, who takes him out. Rene Corbet. Corbet puts it in front, off a skate back to Sakic. He's watched by Bure. Deadmarsh, now Corbet. Tried to put it in front, off Urbe. Sakic can't keep it in, and here's Bure. In again. Second break, second goal. Pavel Bure, shorthanded.
And again, it's from Mark Messier.
Just as my partner said, they'll be looking for something shorthanded.
And there's Pavel. He's in behind the defense. He's not playing team defense. He was going for it. They're down 2 goals, and again, the same play on Patrick Roy. Puck's rolling. Pavel's got his head up. He takes a look. And as soon as he sees that opening, he lets it go. That's pretty hard to defend against that, especially when the guy gets it off the ice. Pavel always seems to get it above your stick, and in it goes.
Canucks lead the league in shorthanded goals with 8. And the Avalanche have given up now 4. And a huge goal by Bure is second of the game. Like the first from Messier. Bure was 17 now on the year.
Oh, Mark just scooped it out, and Pavel was already in flight, caught it at the red line, and away he went. Shorthanded goals, Vancouver 8, and here comes Pavel. Watch him take a look. There he takes a look and just snaps it. He sees Patrick's back in his net on the way down, and the quick wrist shots beats Patrick Roy again.
50 seconds remaining in the power play. Sakic, Kaminsky, Forsberg, Ozolinsh, and Lemieux. Here's Kaminsky. One hand on the stick. He'll give way to Forsberg. Centers it. Lemieux stopped by Urbe. A backhand. Urbe keeps it out. And a penalty coming up. An elbowing call is going against Vancouver. And for 29 seconds, there'll be a two-man advantage.
Well, look at Arturs Urbe. There's a great save on Lemieux. There's another one, and he can't get the third shot on net. There's the fourth save by Urbe as he scrambles. Now look at Urbe get that left leg out. Lemieux is wide open. Here's the left toe save. Here's the second save. Here's the third save. Now look at, he looks up at the last minute. Look at Urbe. He looks up and with the elbow, gets the elbow on it to keep it out.
And while Urbe kept the puck out, Ledger with an elbow on Claude Lemieux, and he is off, and Urbe will be under siege. A big part of the hockey game right here. Canucks get within one on a shorthanded goal. Now they have to survive 29 seconds of a two-man Colorado advantage.
Well, here's a big face-off. Mark Messier against Peter Forsberg. We might see this in the Olympics, Chris. No, I guess we won't because Mark's not going.
I thought you had a scoop there.
Yeah, really.
Well,
here's the big draw. 29 seconds left in the two-man advantage. If Mark can win this one, that'll kill 20 seconds.
And from the side of the net, it's swatted down the ice.
That just shows my bias. I thought Mark should have made the Olympic team.
My Canada includes Mark Messier too. Well, team hasn't gone over yet. Here's Kaminsky with a shot. Messier tries to clear it, kept in by Forsberg. Now it's Ozolinsh. Surveying Kaminsky. Chased back. And now Murzin back on the ice. Messier will send Murzin in. Here's Dana Murzin. Breakaway, and Patrick Roy with the stop. This time it wasn't Pavel Bure.
But again, Mark Messier doing the job 5-on-3 and sending Dana Murzin in short-handed. And you think of the things Mark Messier could do. Look at that perfect block and then set up Dana Murzin. And Murzin looks, and instead of shooting like Pavel did, it goes to the backhand and Patrick's all over it. There's no way. Once Dana pulled that puck to his backhand, he's not going to score. He looks. Patrick is right there.
Well, we know Patrick Roy is headed to the Olympics. Now let's take a look. Mark Messier.
No, he's not there.
No,
he's not there. I still think he should have been. And I don't think they'll add Mark Messier. Now that he wasn't named to the original team, even with injuries, I do not feel that they'll add Mark Messier. I think they'll fill with somebody else.
Avalanche with 9 players and their coach. And some wonder if that will take its toll in the playoffs. Offside at the line. 4:42 to go in the second period of an entertaining hockey game here in Denver.
Still 1:11 left in the Grant Ledger penalty, and you can bet Mark Crawford is talking to his team to be aware of the short-handed Vancouver Canucks. There's a look at Dana Murzin, a little trickle of blood down the side of his right cheek.
There's the coach who will celebrate a birthday in the opening game of the Olympics. I hope this is not a harbinger of things to come, but that game is on Friday the 13th of February.
And what's that phobia called? Go try it.
I'm not going there.
Triskaidekaphobia or something? It's in there. It's got a T to start with.
Well, the Avalanche not clicking on this power play. Here's Uwe Krupp to center. He'll send it in. Sakic in pursuit. It's chopped away from him. Kept in by Eric Messier at the line. And there's Sakic, side of the net, looking to center it. And Deadmarsh couldn't reach it. Bure scampers back at center. He's checked from behind by Yell. They've got a defensive player out there now, and Bure's out, killing a penalty. I don't think Yell sees much time on the power play, does he?
No, they're making sure that Pavel Bure doesn't have another breakaway. Ooh. That was a pretty scary line change.
Yeah, you could hear the Canucks calling for too many men on the ice. Sakic still out, playing it back to Foot. Final seconds, Ledger getting set to return. And he's back on the ice. So the Canuck penalty killers have done the job so far tonight and have a shorthanded goal to get them back within one. Urbe will get a whistle. 3:22 to go, second period, 4-3 Avalanche. Face off in the Vancouver zone, won by Rene Corbet. John Clem back at the point now. And it's lugged out by Hedekid. Bounced in, Scott Walker giving chase. He's taken to the boards. Eric Lacroix, who has a pair of goals tonight, back defensively now. Scott Walker in the corner, watched by Lefebvre. Jelena takes a bump. And now Clem on the far side. And here comes a penalty as a Canuck was taken down, and they're all going to meet up in the corner. Sean Donovan, I think, was going to get the initial penalty.
I think there was going to be an interference call from Mark Fawcett on the play as Donovan was tied up. Scotty Walker has a broken nasal bone. He wears a shield from an altercation with Chris Murray. Murray was still...
This has been a hard-fought battle tonight between divisional rivals who will next year be in the Northwest. Nothing more will come of it, but I think it's going to be a Canuck power play when we come back. Good atmosphere in this building, though. Messier back to the point. Lume keeps it in, flips the shot toward the net. Bure tied up by Foot, and Yell sends it the length of the ice. 2.5 minutes to go, second period. And the Avalanche with a 4-3 lead. Messier dishing it off. Olin will turn back. Lume at the line. Flips it to Olin. Kept it on the line. Now Messier. McGillney in the slot. Bure at the side of the net. Now Bure. Take a look. Forsberg went down. There's a shot, and it deflected wide. Forsberg against Olin, a battle of Swedish teammates. And they got it out to center. Now Messier. Lume in for McGillney. And again, most of the action on the outside. Messier drills it. McGillney rebound. Now they're testing Patrick Roy. And it's Gusarov who gets it down the ice. 33 seconds remaining in the Donovan minor.
And Patrick Roy holding his ground in close, but the Canucks again this power play with some good chances.
Now Ledger up to Jelena. Hedekid swings it left side. Scatchard. Dave Scatchard lost his footing, and Uwe Krupp is there to flip it back down the ice. Into the final 10 seconds of the power play, final minute of the second period.
Now John Clem being used as a forechecking, penalty-killing forward.
Says he's played every position so far this year for the Avalanche except for goal. I don't think we'll see him there. But we've seen him in this period play defense and up front. After missing 11 games, after undergoing thumb surgery. Here's a centering pass, and Scott Walker with a chance stopped by Waugh. Sakic plays it around and down the ice. That will just get to the line for icing. And we're down to 18.6 seconds to go in the second period.
Joey Sakic loves to play against Canadian teams. He takes great pride in his game and the level of his game and the fact that it's being shown back home. He plays at a high level anyway, but he seems to always pick it up when he plays against the Vancouver Canucks. And you think of their run to the Stanley Cup when they beat the Canucks in that first round. Joe Sakic was absolutely dominant in that series.
And never looked back. Talked about the new building, and that was the plans confirmed the day they matched the New York Rangers offer for Joe Sakic. That pays him a tidy $17 million this season.
Makes as much as his friend Larry Walker. Well, maybe not.
I think he's making more than Larry this season. Gusarov plays it ahead, and actually over the glass will get another whistle with 3.7 seconds to go.
Now Mark Messier and Adam Footer are having words.
A couple of former Team Canada teammates.
Mark Messier has had a strong game here again tonight. He likes to play for Mike Keenan. Mike Keenan uses him a lot. And that 5-on-3 could be a turning point for the Vancouver Canucks. Messier was the forward killing that penalty, and he did a great job. You look at the durability of a guy who never shied away from the physical play, 1,300 NHL games. A prolific scorer.
A pair of assists tonight gives him 990 assists in his brilliant career.
And Artur Zerbe has now gone to the Canuck bench. We're going to have that extra attacker. I like this play with 3.7 seconds left.
Now, can you get it down the ice in 3.7? Joe Sakic on the draw, but the Canucks win it. Olin, can he get a shot on? There it is at the horn. And Waugh made the save as the horn went to end another entertaining and hard-fought period here at the McNichol Sports Arena.
Brian Noonan driving to the net. 1.1. No, there's the clock. It's off a skate. Look at the save. Patrick Waugh made the save. That one would have been in before time had expired, and Waugh got the right toe on it.
Jyrki Lumme tied it at 2, then 2 for Lacroix, made it 4-2 before Pavel Bure with a breakaway goal, his second, and it's 4-3 after 40 minutes here in Denver. 4-3 as we start the third period, in Vancouver, when trailing after 40 minutes this year, is without a point. So they have not been able to come back yet this season. Let's see if they're able to do so tonight against a team that's pretty good protecting a lead.
Well, the last game against Colorado in Vancouver, it was 2-2 after 2. Colorado went ahead, and then Donald Brashear scored in the last minute to tie it up, so that's a comeback.
Cleared out to center, and now Bure chases after it again. Messier trying to get back there, and does, just ahead of Bure, and icing the call.
Sandis Ozolic has been more or less invisible in this game, and especially on the power play, and that's where you expect Sandis Ozolic to really take charge. Brett Hedican has not had a stellar night also, but it's not been a great night for any of the defensemen. Mark Messier has been very strong. Pavel Bure with 3 points. But Alexander McGillney has been more or less invisible too, and the Canucks, when they really get going, all three are going. Kamensky has not played very well. Peter Forsberg has been pretty good. Claude Lemieux has been his obnoxious self.
Scatchard against Sakic on this face-off. Pulled back to Lefebvre. Plays it around, and Sakic's there with Deadmarsh along the boards, and it's Hedican racing down the ice. Hedican tried to go right side for Noonan, broken up. And Brashear gets it back for the Canucks at center. Sent in by Hedican. And Waugh plays it away from Noonan. Lacroix on the left side, Sakic to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh bursting through, backhand, and Herbe down to make the save.
Quick transition game of the Colorado Avalanche, and again they get a good scoring chance. The Canucks turn the puck over the blue line on the Brett Hedican rush, and immediately the Avalanche, away they go. Bang, bang. Puck to Deadmarsh, and he has a good scoring chance. It went off the end of his stick, and it got so deep that he didn't have a very good angle, but he still gets a good backhand away, and Artur Zerbe has to be sharp to make the save.
If Deadmarsh was struggling a few weeks ago, you'd never know it now. BC boy fired up to play against the Canucks tonight.
coaching staff of the Avalanche talked about Joe Sakic being in a little slump. And a lot of that had to do with the play of Adam Dedmon.
John Donovan's on the ice with Corbet and Yell. There's Yell taken to the boards by Brashear. Comes outside the line. Ozolinsh over to Corbet and back in again. There's Sean Donovan playing it back to Ozolinsh. His shot off a skate into the corner. Yell dashing after it. Hit Walker, and the Canucks get it out to center. Donovan with his first goal as a Colorado player here tonight in his own zone. Played around, it'll be kept. No, it won't be kept in. Merzen brings it in offside.
Dana Merzen playing an awful lot for Mike Keenan, and we saw the scrap with Jeff Odgers, and there's the scar from the scrap with Odgers. But Merzen's skating ability was one of the reasons Tom Rennie did not use him very much. He was a healthy scratch many times for Rennie, and you can see in a game like this that Dana's been burned a couple of times wide, but you can never question his competitive spirit.
We're talking to Mike Keenan about how he views this Canuck team, and it's almost like a puzzle with pieces, and he's comparing them to the pieces he had with New York. And when Merzen's name came up, he was kind of compared to Jeff Bukaboo today.
A bad comparison. Physical defense doesn't handle the puck very much.
Here's McGillney trying to split the defense. He's upended. Back the other way, Eric Messier up to Forsberg at the line. Peter Forsberg hung on and hit the post. Foot in for Kamensky. Now Forsberg looks for it. Got it to Lemieux, and Urbe. Like there was an opening between those pads, but he closed it in time.
Well, that hit Brett Hedican and then came back and hit Arturs Urbe right on the knee. That's why he's still down. Alexander McGillney, as we said, did not do much for the first two periods, but showed a little spark here, tried to dive through. Gets hauled down, and the Canuck bench was up. They thought there should have been a penalty. There's the Messier hook from behind. No call for Mark Fawcett on that one. And at the other end, it turns around to a 3-on-2, and Forsberg holds on. We're going to fling the wrist shot like a lacrosse shot off the outside of the post. And here's the shot. It hits Brett Hedican, and look at it, goes down and into Arturs Urbe. He's lucky that one didn't squeak through. Scoring chances, and our hot stove talked about lack of scoring chances. Well, look at the scoring chances in this game. It's too bad every game wasn't like this game. 17-11.
Well, these two teams have skated well tonight. The trap has not been in evidence. There's Merzen lugging it through center, being hooked by Yell as he fired it in. Patrick Waugh plays it ahead. And big Francois Leroux's on the ice. Now Clem with Yell as Mark Crawford trying to get a little bit of a lift physically from his team early in the third period. And icing is the call. We're 3:14 into the third period. It's 4-3 Colorado.
Both goaltenders, Kurt McLean and Patrick Waugh, have let in some soft goals, and I'd say 4 of the goals at least have been questionable goals.
Now Urbe in for Vancouver, and Patrick Waugh, one of those netminders, even on a night when he does let in some goals that you wonder about. It's the next one that's usually awfully difficult to get. Olin checked by Forsberg. Colorado's only lost one game this year in which they've scored 4 goals or more. And an offside at the line.
And that was to the Calgary Flames, Chris, in the exciting game in Calgary, an overtime game. Colorado Avalanche, when you lead going into the third, the other teams have to open it up. And that's why you get teams like Dallas, like Colorado, who can score in the third period because the other teams are opening it up. St. Louis, especially early in the year, they were just piling up those third period goals.
Contrast the Colorado number with Vancouver, 18 goals in the third, and they've allowed 33. So it's been a tough period for the Canucks on the season. They're looking to turn that around. Gusarov shot blocked. Knocked out to center ice. A little more cautious in this third period so far.
Well, you heard Mike Foligno talking to Steve about how they were not too pleased with the way the game was so wide open.
Now Sakic goes to work with Deadmarsh. Back to Ozolinsh. And Scott Walker turns back the other way. Noonan at the line. Bure was on the right side, but Noonan checked and forced back. Dangerous Colorado rush, and then Vancouver turned it around. There's Hedican in deep for Vancouver. John Donovan will flip it from his side of center down the ice, and Olin gets there ahead of Donovan, icing the call. Won by the Canucks. Yelena's shot. Clem blocked that. Hedican will try. It doesn't get through. And back out to center. John Clem's up front now with Yell and Corbet. The checking line for the Avalanche. Naslund trying to get loose through center. Can't do it the first time. Now hits Scatchard with it. Dave Scatchard will play it back. Hedican couldn't reach the pass. Clem will send it in, and Matthias Olin back behind his own net. Slides it out to center. There's Uwe Krupp putting it back into the Vancouver zone. Urbe missed it, and Corbet off the wing with a shot. Now McGillney comes out, and the Canucks will complete a line change.
That's one of the things with Arthur Zerbe instead of Kirk McLean in net. When the Avalanche shoot it in, chances are it's going to go around, or Arthur Zerbe is going to have some problems handling. He's not near as good a puck handler as Kirk McLean. We've seen and been impressed with this line tonight, especially Peter Forsberg, but they have been on a tear. And this Colorado Avalanche team is so deep that one of the reasons that they can play so well is it's hard for the other teams to put a checking line on the Forsberg line, because then you see what happens when the Sakic line comes out.
Well, tonight the center has been the most dominant of those three with a pair of assists. Adam Foote at center just flipped it towards Bure. Now McGillney reaching for it, can't find it. Lemieux off his skate. Can't get loose against Merzen. Bure back in his own zone. Played around and given away. And here's Forsberg going to work. He's cut down. Drops to Foote. Penalty coming up. Here's a rebound. And that one shot wide. Lemieux again off the side of the net. Urbe without a stick. They score! No goal. No goal. Fawcett waving it off, and did the whistle blow to call the penalty?
Yes, he's saying Alexander McGillney touched the puck. That's what he should have done on the Eric Lacroix goal. But the Colorado Avalanche will have a power play.
Well, let's listen to see if the whistle did blow.
There's the penalty.
McGillney making contact with it. I'm not sure you'd rule that possession.
No, that wasn't even close to the possession that Mark Messier had.
So the goal taken off the board, and instead the Avalanche will enjoy their fifth power play of the night. Bure gets the penalty, and it's a slashing call.
Could have been slashing, could have been tripping. There's Peter Forsberg going by Bure, and Bure gets the stick out, gets the slashing penalty, knocked Forsberg down. But Mark Fawcett was over on the other side of the net, and I think he thought that Alexander McGillney made more contact than he really did.
Bure with a shorthanded goal tonight, so it's with him in the box, it's McGillney that comes out with Messier, and he's a threat as well, shorthanded. The Avalanche trying to expand their lead here in the third period. Ozolinsh sends it ahead. Here's Forsberg over the line with Kamensky, broke it up. And Lume just got it by Forsberg and out to center. Sakic far side. Takes the return pass from Ozolinsh. Forsberg lost it, and McGillney just flips it back out. Sakic right side, Lemieux and Forsberg are there. Both went down, and McGillney's on it. Olin tried to backhand it out, kept in by Ozolinch. Olin will get another chance. He's bodied, gets it to Messier. And Messier hangs on and missed Olin with the pass. Gave it back to Forsberg. Forsberg in, left side, Kamensky. Drops it off. Lemieux tried to swing it back, and that wasn't close to Sakic.
And he had so much time. Claude Lemieux had lots of time to stop and look before he threw that one. Threw it backhand and threw it all the way down the ice.
Now Sakic up to Deadmarsh, dancing in. Corbet goes to the front of the net. Pass doesn't get through. Played back to the point. Ozolinch for Lacroix, looking for the hat trick here tonight. Eric Lacroix with a pair of goals. Loses possession, and it's sent down the ice by Naslin, and only 20 seconds remaining in the Bure minor. Here's a nice pass by Waugh to Deadmarsh, who takes the drop pass, flipping it through, and Herbe knocked it away. Eric Messier moves up. Corbet behind the net. Tied up in the skates of Deadmarsh. Corbet gets it in front, and Noonan will just flip it away. And that will do it for the penalty as Bure returns to the ice. 4-3. And the Avalanche 0 for 5 on the power play tonight. And there's an icing call as Merzen touches the puck. Midway through the third period. And a one-goal game. There's a pass for Lemieux on the right side. That doesn't get through. Deadmarsh got it back again. Deadmarsh now heads to the bench, giving way for Kamensky. Matthias Olin. Forsberg forechecking, and Olin wary of that. Hedican sends it across. Messier to Bure, and look at the acceleration. Bure on the move. Tried to get it back across off a stick and into the corner. Forsberg carefully to center, and now gives it up. Lume finds Bure. Pavel Bure a drive right on, and Patrick Waugh saw McGillney moving in, so he holds on.
Mark Fawcett has had a rather tough week. He was in Denver Tuesday, Dallas for Wednesday, Friday games, and while he was in Dallas, the Mike Modano incident happened with Brian Marchment. Now, there's Fawcett. You can see him in the background. He's right there, and on the hit, Fawcett said, "Good hit, Mush," and referring to Brian Marchment because he thought it was. There's Fawcett. Now look at, there's no arm up in the air. The call was made by linesman Dan Shakti, who was over on the other side of the ice, and it's unfortunate that Mike Modano was hurt, and we wish him well, and Brian Marchment got the 3-game suspension from that hit. But I've seen Brian hit people worse with knees than that incident on Mike Modano.
I was a little surprised at that suspension, especially after hearing Ken Hitchcock, or at least reading Hitchcock's comments in the paper that he didn't see anything wrong with the hit. At least that was the initial interpretation. Merzen spotting Scott Walker in alone. Walker, and he's stopped by Patrick Waugh. That's the 4th clear-cut breakaway tonight for the Canucks. Bure's 2 for 2, but Merzen and Walker have been stopped.
Is that hard to believe?
Scott Walker tried to borrow a page from Bure.
He did. He made the right play, but you saw how high his shot was. It wasn't that 6 inches just above the stick. It was about knee high. So when Patrick Waugh went down, the pads were there to make the save.
Canucks with a golden opportunity to tie the game, and now the puck flips up into the Canuck bench.
Well, you can bet Mark Crawford's not too pleased with his defensive system. When you're giving up breakaways, you've got a 1-goal lead, even though it was to Scott Walker and Mike Keenan. And there's Scotty Walker. He's looking around, and he's shaking his head. Nice play right there. Now here's Walker. He's got lots of time, and he is going to try the same play as Pavel Bure. But look at how high that shot is. That shot's about 10 inches off the ice, and when Patrick goes down, he plays it off the pads. Here's Walker. He's in behind the defense. Nice pass. Shot, and what a save by Patrick Waugh.
The face-off, a shot from the point sailed wide, and now Martin Gelinas Up ahead, that pass broken up by Gusarov. Flipped back in, and dashing after it is Yell. And that puck by Hedeken played right back to Urbe, who took a look at Hedeken as he went by. Now Hedeken. Right side, Olin. He'll send it in. And there's Sean Donovan. Getting help from Ozolinsh to send it to center. Mike Sillinger into Colorado territory. 9:09 to go, third period. Still a one-goal hockey game. Stefan Yell spots Kamensky. Nice move. Valerie Kamensky scores! What a goal by Kamensky!
Now, Jyrki Lumme, who is having a good night for the Vancouver Canucks, gets caught on this one. Nice pass by Yell. Now, Lumme has to come across on Kamensky. And Kamensky cuts back, turns Lumme all the way around. And then look at that shot. Arturs Urbe is coming across with Kamensky. He can't get set. He's headed in the other direction, and Kamensky throws it back against the grain. He might have hit Lumme's stick to make it even harder for Arturs Urbe. But what a play by Valerie Kamensky. He had Jyrki Lumme doing pirouettes.
His 11th goal of the year. Yell and Donovan the assists. 11:02 time of the goal. Kamensky has not been a huge factor tonight until that play. Boy, he has a knack for the spectacular. And it's another 2-goal lead for the Avalanche. And here's Forsberg, checked at the line by Hedeken. Valerie Kamensky, part of the '88 Olympic gold medal team for Russia. And he'll be on the Russian team again in '98 in Nagano. Here's a chance for Lemieux, stopped by Urbe. Olin plays it around. Bure. Nice move there, too far for McGillney. He'll go after it. Messier there first. Played it around, and Bure waiting for it. Off the skate of McGillney. Now Jeff Odgers on the far side. Battles for it. Puck squirts loose. And foot ahead to Lemieux. And now Odgers. His shot off defenseman Merzen. Lumme up to Scatchert at the line. It's Noonan. Group there defensively. Brian Noonan backhands it into the corner. Brashear is there. So's Donovan. Brashear comes up with it. Watched by Sakic, and Sakic has a hold of Brashear. Lumme pinching in. Noonan past Brashear. And it's Krupp trying to get it out. Merzen stopped it. Got his glove up on Donovan, who swatted at the big Canuck defenseman, who goes back at Donovan again. Here's Brian Noonan trying to make a play. Brashear, and that pass across went off Krupp and into the crowd. So Kamensky's made it a 2-goal game with just over 7 minutes to play. Well, insurance for the Avalanche, and the Canucks have their work cut out for them now to avoid a second consecutive loss, which would be a first under Mike Keenan. Francois Leroux off the boards ahead to Ozolinsh. Sandis Ozolinsh on his own. Can't get by Lumme with Walker hanging all over him. Leroux now paddles along the boards, and down he goes. Scott Walker lost his stick in the fray. Merzen up to Jelena. Martin Jelena over the line, couldn't beat defenseman Gusarov, and back the other way. Yell got it caught in his skates and just rolls it in on Urbe. Off Walker's skate, Lemieux plays it back in. 6 minutes, 6 seconds to go here in the third period. Forsberg's back on the ice, but McGillney up with it, lost it to Forsberg, and Kamensky winds up in his own zone. Peter Forsberg up for Kamensky, too far. McGillney flips it back into the Colorado zone. Eric Messier around the boards past Hedeken, and this goes the length of the ice. Olin back to get the icing call. Well, Mike Keenan Still concerned about tonight's game, but his next will be interesting. Monday, as Mike Keenan goes to St. Louis. John, do you think they'll have a special video prepared for Mike like they did for Mark Messier at Madison Square Garden?
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think Mike is relishing the challenge. I think he is looking forward to going into St. Louis and having his team play a little better, especially defensively, than they did tonight against a team that obviously doesn't score as many goals as the Colorado Avalanche.
Mike Keenan this morning said he expects a non-heroes welcome in St. Louis. Had some choice comments, though, about the St. Louis reporting staff. Here's Noonan with a shot on goal.
Called it a one-paper town.
And irresponsible reporting of the job he did in St. Louis. That's the way he termed it today. Urbe had trouble with that puck behind the net. Bure couldn't reach it. Comes to Krupp. In for Sakic. Nifty move, but fanned on the shot. Sakic will get it back. Scatchard watching the Avalanche captain. Deadmarsh along the boards, and he'll come off the boards and is upended. Lefebvre the drive. Now the rebound going to Sakic as the Avalanche puts on pressure. Sakic shot blocked to the line and out after some Avalanche pressure.
I don't think this is the matchup that Mike Keenan was looking for with the Bure line.
Now, do we have too many men on the ice? And let's see. Play's been whistled down, and take a break here. Looks like an offside call. That's all they've got.
And the problem with the Vancouver Canucks is their opponents on this three-game trip are a little better than their opponents on the last three-game trip.
Well, the Avalanche have the fewest losses in the NHL this year, and are 4 minutes and 20 seconds away from improving their record to 16-6-8. Here's Scott Walker stealing the puck. He's got Jelena open on the other side, and Ozolic got his stick on the pass. Jelena on it again, centers it for Naslund, loose puck, Hennigan, and somehow that stayed out. Close call there.
Well, Chris, you talked about Patrick Roy, a couple of bad goals. Now he stopped 2 breakaways, a 2-on-1.
Here's another chance, Naslund, and Roy stopped that and looked behind him. But now 3 big stops to keep it a 2-goal Avalanche lead.
And that save at the end of the second period, Patrick Roy has closed the door. Here's Martin Jelena throwing it out front. And there's Marcus Naslund with the shot. Now here's the rebound by Hennigan. And look at Patrick get the right leg out on that save. And here's the last rush. Rolling puck. And look at Patrick. He's got it caught up in those big arm pads of his and doesn't know he has it. And that's one of the goaltender equipment things that the league is going to look at.
Hennigan shot blocked here, and now a race for it. Lemieux trying to speed away, but he was held up by Hennigan. McGillney gives it away, gets it back. Matthias Olin tried to return it to McGillney, and Lemieux sends it down the ice. 3.5 minutes to play, third period. Bure drops for Oland over the line. He in turn left it there, and Forsberg sends away Kamensky. Here's Valerie Kamensky dashing in, and Urbe stopped him on the backhand.
Nice play by Peter Forsberg again to Valerie Kamensky, but this time Dana Merzen was back, and Merzen gave Kamensky the backhand. Now he's saying, okay, I'm going to have to count on Arturs Urbe to make a pretty good save here. He lets Kamensky have the backhand from a pretty good spot. And Urbe does come up, but he just doesn't want to get completely beaten on that play. And Urbe's played pretty well in relief. Not much chance on the 2 goals that have beaten him.
Reminder, next Saturday on Hockey Night in Canada, the New Jersey Devils will be at Toronto. So Doug Gilmour back at Maple Leaf Gardens, and there'll be a rematch in the second game. The Avalanche visit GM Place and the Canucks in Vancouver. Next Saturday on Hockey Night in Canada. And if the matchup next week's as good as this one's been, it'll be a beauty.
Arturs Urbe has allowed 2 goals on 18 shots. Many of them have been of the difficult variety.
39-32 the shots on the night favoring Colorado. Moves him back into his own zone as both teams make changes. Francois Leroux comes back out. Here's Naslund flipping it in, going after it. Patrick Roy plays it ahead on the tape to John Clem. He'll bounce it down on Bure. And Hedeken winds up. Hedeken right side. Shelina with speed moving in, centering it. There's a chance, and Walker blasted that one wide. Shelina has it. Takes the shot, and the glove stop by Patrick.
It's interesting talking to Pierre Lacroix about Patrick Roy's selection to the Olympic team and how he was so devastated back in '87 when he was not included in a Canada Cup team, coming off a Conn Smythe Trophy, and Patrick felt that he should have been named to that team and was not in favor of Ron Hextall.
Well, he's so influential in this area, such a popular player. So influential that just about everybody connected with the Avalanche who has kids that want to be goaltenders.
Mark Crawford's son was playing goal today. Mike Foligno's son plays goal. Wears the number 33.
Sylvain Lefebvre's son apparently has made an appearance between the pipes. Everybody wants to be the next Patrick Roy.
Wait until everybody starts raising at them. It's great when you can say no razors.
There's a little open ice for Stefan Yell. Dump it in and head to the bench. Yell gets a little more ice time without Mike Ricci here, and he has been effective. Ricci, a great team guy, and he goes to San Jose to bring a little leadership there. And I know that's one thing that Odgers talked about today, or this morning after the skate, how good the room is in Colorado. What great spirit there is. Here's Bure, coast to coast, and stopped by Roy. First time he's been stopped on a break tonight, and a slashing penalty coming up.
Pavel Bure's been the best Canuck forward tonight, and Mark Messier has been a close second. Bure dancing in. Now here's the speed of Pavel Bure. If you don't slow him down, he's like Forsberg. There's Forsberg trying to check him, but he's already got that full head of speed. And Eric Messier gets the lumber out, and that time Pavel couldn't get it to the forehand to try and slip it through Patrick Roy.
So a measure of revenge for Roy in his personal battle with Bure tonight. 68 seconds to go in the game, and Messier is off.
And I think Mike Keenan's going to pull a goalie here. You're down 2 goals. You've got 1:08 left. Why not go for it?
Vancouver will then have a 2-skater advantage. 1 for 4 on the power play tonight as Bure has vacated the net.
On the Kamansky goal, I found it interesting. The Colorado Avalanche were in the middle of a line change, and the 2 guys going off skate in front of the bench to try and help their plus minuses. And now you've got the empty net, and a lot of guys feel, well, okay, it is nice to go out for the empty net chance, but your plus minus could take a beating when they pop in that empty netter.
And Colorado wins the draw, and it's Yell getting it out to center. Eric Lacroix might come out to look for a hat-trick goal. Gusarov up with it. He spots the open net, shoots it down the ice, and scores! Well, about a 180-footer for Gusarov, and it's 6-3.
I think Joey Sakic might get an assist on that one as he threw it back towards Gusarov. And the thing is, when you're killing the penalty, you don't have to worry about the icing. So Gusarov just aerialed it down. Now here's the Vancouver Canucks. They can't get it in. Deep, and Gusarov, Sakic doesn't touch it. He's not going to get an assist. Gusarov, airmail, right in the middle of the net. Matthias Olin looks down. Sakic watches. Field goal. Yep, right in the middle.
So a shorthanded marker by Gusarov. They're calling it unassisted for now.
I think it was. Joe didn't touch it on the way by, and the Canucks just didn't get it in deep.
for Bure, and he scores! Pavel Bure has the hat trick. His 8th of his NHL career and 2nd this season. So Vancouver gets a late power play goal with 28 seconds remaining.
Well, Patrick Roy is not going to like this one either, but the game wasn't on the line. Here's Pavel Bure, fake, now no poke check. Alexei Gusarov lets Bure go by, and there's no way that you can let Pavel go from one side of the net all the way across to the other. Now Patrick thinks that Bure is just going to slide it. Instead, Bure pulls it back, and Gusarov let Bure go right by him.
Well, he had a hat trick against Dallas in October, and now Bure, with his 2nd of the year, 18 goals on the season now. He is flying, and 10 in 10 games under Mike Keenan.
Another empty net situation for Mike Keenan.
6-4. Olin flipping it in the air. And here's a chance for Lemieux, backhanding it wide of the net. Lume in his own zone, plays it around in the final seconds. Messier looks for Jelena. That's off Kaminsky's skate, and this one is in the books. A 6-4 victory for the Colorado Avalanche, improving their home record to 8-2-4.